Hello everyone, Cricket and Corky's Clubhouse here, coming at you with another unboxing video. Sorry, this box is bigger and it does not fit in frame. I need a display table. This is actually kind of a part 2 to a video I just uploaded, and I wasn't expecting this box to come in literally like the next day. So it did. So here it is. We're going to unbox this. I'm going to turn the air off. We don't want that noise going on. But if you watched part 1, you will notice that I got the Story Magic. Just go ahead and put him up here. Well, actually, an older video, I got Story Magic Big Bird. There he is hanging out. He'll stay. And then yesterday, I got Story Magic Oscar, which is very cool. I decided they don't want to be in the camera here. And then you can imagine who is in this box. So if you watch the first part, you know I said, kind of gave a teaser that I was getting that. And this would be Cookie Monster. Cookie Monster, I liked Oscar, I like Cookie Monster as well, because I'm fascinated with the blue. But what is cool about this Cookie Monster, and I'll admit I may have paid a little more for him, because he is got a lot of paper, because he is still in his box, and I really wanted to get one that didn't have, I talked about yesterday, the really, this paper is always on the camera, as I hit the camera. Sorry for the, it's not an earthquake. All right, let's see if I can move this out of the way. I am being consumed by animatronic toys and dolls. I have no room, no room. But anyway, I talked about how Cookie Monster in particular has this problem where he has yellow eyes. And it's because there's a casing that goes on over his eyes, because his eyes move around and the casing goes yellow. So there's not really a way to clean those. But I've noticed you still can find a few out there that don't have yellow eyes. So I'm hoping this is one. So he is used. I wish I could get him up here, but he is covered in bubble wrap. He is used, his box is super damaged, but nonetheless it is the box, which will be cool at least to see once, because obviously the other two didn't have that. And then I think he comes with his instructions. He's heavy, and it looked like, and hopefully it could be wrong, but it looked like he came with 2 tapes or 1 tape or whatever, but anyway, whatever is in here with him is not the tape that I need to make him talk. So I'm hoping that he is on one of these other tapes and we can hear him there and see if he works. There he is super duper blue. His cord is thrown in there. Yeah, that is so interesting. Well, it's weird because the book is sealed back there. So anyway, of course he's not even on camera. The other 2 are. There he goes. The tape and book behind him are called Imagine That, which I already have. But what's weird is that's the story that activates Oscar that we heard in part 1. So it's interesting that he comes with that. I mean, clearly it's his box, his Cookie Monster. But he's supposed to come with a purple book that talks about something about stealing cookies. The reason I thought maybe there was 2 is because it looks like behind him there's a second spot for a cassette, and it is not there. But this is the box. They all kind of had the same similar box here. It is super duper torn up. Don't want to knock off anybody here. Yeah, there we go. So there he is on the back, and you see here, this is the book he's supposed to come with, No Cookies Till Dinner, and it's purple. But instead, he has Oscar the Grouch's book. Imagine that. So, I don't know. And down here it talks about some of the different books. Maybe these are the ones that they can use to talk with. No cookies till dinner, a birthday surprise, a very special picnic, the colors of spring, Big Bird's animal alphabet, and yeah. Luckily, I have Big Bird's animal alphabet. Whew. I think. Or do I not? Maybe I don't. Oh, I do. All right. Big Bird's animal alphabet. I also have I Can Count to 10 and Back Again. I think maybe Cookie Monster might be on that one because Cookie Monster loves to count cookies. But I think these are the ones maybe that they work with here. Yeah, it says Storytime with Big Bird, Oscar the Grouch, and Cookie Monster. These programs bring all three characters to life and contain all of their voices. So, that's good. That's good. Okay, well, so we have a tape. So we are set. Weirdly enough, it's not cookies for dinner. I'll know more once I can open them up. The box, like I said, I don't even know if he's probably not even attached in the box. Nope, he's not. He's just sitting in there. He's just chilling. There he is. There's the whole gang. Oh, he's cute. Look, he's holding a cookie. He's so nice. Cookie, it's so great. These are awesome. I never had these as a kid. And apparently there was a lot of talking toys I didn't know existed as a kid. I was apparently too obsessed with Teddy Ruxpin to be bothered. I want to see if I can pull this book out. Is it in there? Oh, all right. Oh, all right, it came out. So, let's see if I can lay this box here. So this is what the books look like. I've never actually seen one. I have learned not to care so much for these books. This one is actually like a traditional book, though. It's actually got a story and the little chime happens and you kind of follow along. But I found with Cricket and Corky and Patty Playpal, I have all these books and they literally just take space up. And I can't use them like when I'm recording. So I haven't this time around. I haven't really been focusing on finding the books more so than the tapes. But I actually haven't got a lot of tapes either. Okay, what do we got here? We have, I'm just going through some of the paperwork. Care and Operations. There's all three of them. Maybe just a little advertisement there. Yep, okay, so it just talks a little bit about it and some of the other items that were available. There is the limited warranty. I wonder if that's still good. And then there was another, I guess, so here is another packet. So I'm assuming that this person at once upon a time owned all of them and they owned Oscar, and somehow, because that book wasn't like sealed in there, I think the book and the cassette got swapped because there's a second set of warranty and instructions. So I'm assuming one of these went to Oscar and one went to Cookie Monster, and here we are today. Yeah. Boy, if this ad isn't dating. Choose up to $5 back from GE or a free toy from Viewmaster Ideal Group. Like, gosh, Viewmasters, that is old school there. It looks like it's rechargeable batteries or battery case. I guess those have been going on forever. I mean, I have one today. All right, so Cookie Monster also has a cord that he comes with, and looking at his eyes are really small. I don't know, for some reason Cookie Monster, Oscar seemed bigger to me. Cookie Monster seems smaller. He's got this giant thing of cookies here, and this is all hard plastic. Cookies feel a little more rubbery, but still hard plastic. But I am happy to say that his eyes are not yellow. They're very much clear. So he, on the back, has the same little compartment. So I'm going to open this up and just run some alcohol over the top of it. Again, I find that is always the best when I'm doing these videos. Even if there's no corrosion, which there isn't, residue and just being old sometimes leaves a film, and that can prohibit these batteries from making a connection. All right, everything came out super clean. So again, very lucky. This time I kind of didn't play with the odds as much because I wanted him to be new looking, and his fur is perfect. Whoever had this guy took very good care of him. All right, so I'm just trying to see the batteries. Now, because my memory is so horrible, I have already forgotten. One of the jacks works for each. And when I plugged in originally, Oscar didn't work. And then when I switched the jacks, he started to. So hopefully we can figure that out today without a lot of trouble. All right, I'm gonna close. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. Slide to lock. He is locked and loaded. We're gonna see if he makes the beep. It lets me know he works, or at least he comes on. Nothing so far. Oh, did you hear it? I think it came on just for a second. Okay, well there's something going on, so that's good. At least there's power. So now I have to figure out how to hook all three of these up. I'm gonna say we're gonna put him into jack B. I guess let's start with Big Bird here. And Oscar. I like Oscar has a green cord. One for Cookie Monster is not. Alright, so let's turn him around. I left the batteries in yesterday because I knew I would be doing this again. So we'll try, alright, we're going to try B. And we'll put B here for Big Bird. Well, actually Big Bird just has one jack. And then for Cookie Monster, let's switch him over to A. And then put him in here. Okay. It's a little hectic. I can't imagine as a little kid trying to deal with all three of these, but I guess the parent would be doing this for them. Now I have to try to get them all on camera. There they are. Okay, everybody, yep, everyone is there. Big Bird's a little wonky-fied. Okay, so we're gonna try Big Bird's, oh, now he works. Or is that, oh no, that is him. Okay. Gosh, I gotta turn them all on too. All right, so we're gonna try Big Bird's alphabet. It looks like it is just in the middle of the story. So I'm going to start with him, and then we'll fire up the other guys. Like I said, don't know where this is in the story.
Then you can turn it over and play it again.
Okay, it's at the beginning, so that's good. All right, now I'm going to turn on. Or did it actually end? I think it actually ended. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and turn everyone on. Yeah, we know. Beep, beep, beep. Everybody's beeping now.
Big Bird's Animal Alphabet. Hi, everybody. It's me, Big Bird. Welcome to my animal alphabet. Before we begin, I'd like to tell you about a special sound. When you hear this sound, turn the page of your book. Want to hear it again? Ready?
No.
Turn to the first page of your book. That's the page with the letters of the alphabet written.
This is chaos, y'all. Absolute chaos. Everyone's screaming. Big Bird does not even like that.
WXYZ on the sidewalk. I thought they made one word. As Kadetsky Jekyllmanopoulos
Alright, Oscar's doing something.
The most
So that's
remarkable
good.
word I've ever seen.
So at least he moves when he's not talking.
I wish I knew exactly what I mean. It starts out like an A word, as anyone can see. But somewhere in the middle, it gets awful queer to me. Ask a Depky gentleman up for if I ever find out just what this word can mean, I'll be the smartest bird the world has ever seen. Let's see. It might be kind of an elephant, or a funny kind of kazoo, or a strange exotic turtle that you've never seen in a zoo. It might be kind of a donkey, or a particular shade of blue, or maybe a pretty flower. Nah, not with a name like that. Ask a Depky gentleman of course who exists. It's the most remarkable word I've ever seen. Ask a Depky gentleman of course who exists. I wish I knew exactly what I mean. It starts out like an A word, as anyone can see.
Might have pushed our luck here.
It gets awful queer to me. Ask a Depky gentleman of course who exists. If I ever find out just what this word can mean, I'll be the smartest bird the world has ever
So at least he's not making noise. Oh, wait. I saw his eyes move on camera.
Then I discovered they were the letters of the alphabet. And I learned that when you put
That
them
was
together in
chaos.
different ways,
Chaos.
they made words. So to help me remember the letters of the alphabet, I invited some of my animal friends whose names began with each letter to visit me on Sesame Street. A is the first letter of the alphabet, and my first little visitor was an ant. Ants are adorable, said Oscar, especially at picnics. B is the next letter of the alphabet. My next visitor was a good friend of the Count's. It was a bat. I'm especially fond of this letter because Big and Bird both start with the letter B.
At least C should be Cookie,
Do
right?
you know what letter comes after B? It's the letter C. So Cookie Monster
Come on,
brought
Cookie.
along a friend whose name began with the letter C. It was a cow.
Me like cow.
Said
Yay!
Cookie.
Cow make milk, and milk very good with cookies. Cookies also start with C. Me love cookies. C is for cookies, that's good enough for me.
Hey, it's a
C is
classic.
for cookies, that's good enough for me. C is for cookies, that's good enough for me. Oh, cookie, 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 that will say. Oh, me love cookies. Yeah, me say, C is for cookies, that's good enough for me. C is for cookies, that's good enough for me. C is for cookies, that's good enough for me. Oh, cookie, 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 that will say. Oh, me love cookies.
B is a
to go through the whole alphabet?
You might have one of these for a pet. It was a dog. I'll bet you don't have one of the E animals around your house. An elephant.
Dog is nice, Big Bird. But me wish me had Cookie as big as elephant.
Said Cookie. F is the first letter of all sorts of animal names. Fish, fox, frog. But the name of the animal that came to visit was the same word as the way it liked to travel. I'll give you a hint. This animal loves to fly. Do you know what it was? You're right. It was a fly. Now for the great letter G. I asked Oscar the
I was
grouse
gonna say
if he would
garbage,
like to
maybe.
invite an animal that started with the letter G.
You must be joking.
He answered.
Don't you think you've gone far enough with a fly, an elephant, a dog, a cow, a bat, and an ant?
Oscar wasn't so happy when the gorilla showed up. The letter that comes after G is H. So Harry the horse came to join us. For the letter I, our visitor was a goat called an ibex. Well, goats like to lick tin cans. Can you guess what happened?
Tell this ibex goat to stop licking my trash can.
Oscar shouted.
He is making me irate. And in case you didn't know, irate means very angry. If you can't beat 'em, you might as well join 'em.
This chord is,
Oscar mumbled.
Cookie's
Let me
chord is very
introduce you to an animal whose name
sensitive.
begins with the letter
See?
J.
Barely touch
It
it.
lives in a fish tank, and it looks like a big blob of jelly. That's why it's called a jellyfish.
The jellyfish didn't look like any fish I had ever seen
Alright,
before,
I'm going
It
to...
not look much like jelly either.
said Cookie Monster.
Me not like that on me peanut butter sandwich.
K is the next letter of the alphabet. The animal...
Okay. Whew. Well, that was a journey we all just took together. I promise I will at some point here actually try to record in a more professional way, you know, with not noises and better lighting, the actual full story there. But I just needed a way to make sure that Cookie Monster worked and Oscar worked, and they all worked beautifully, and I'm excited. There was obviously some chaos in the beginning that is quite difficult. So Big Bird you turn on, he just plays, right? He starts when you put the tape in, kind of like Jill. But Oscar and Cookie Monster both have switches, and Ideal, Patty Playpal did this too. If you don't hurry up and get them going, then they'll start making that really loud beeping noise. I don't know how bad it comes across over the camera, but it's not fun. And that noise is basically was put in so, you know, a kid wouldn't leave it on and the batteries die. So it would be annoying that people would hear it enough to come turn them off. So it was difficult trying to get him going, get his story going, turn him on, and then also get the wiring hooked up. So I need to make sure I see where the wiring is in the back and how that connection goes. And then I imagine it's easy, right? You set them up and they're all connected, and then you just put in a tape in Big Bird, and then as that tape comes on and starts to play, you have to, I guess, wait till he starts talking, and then you can turn on these two. Now, Cookie Monster's cord, which is interesting because Oscar's was green. I thought Cookie Monster's would be blue. This could be a replacement cord. I'll have to look into it. It's very flat, and Oscar's is too. But I have seen replacements, so I might try that. I might try cleaning them as well. But he worked fine, but if you just barely tapped or touched that cord, then it made noises and static. But he does work, and that was super fun. I like Oscar is more animated. Like, I like how his whole body goes up and down out of the trash can. just looking at Cookie Monster's eyes. So I don't know. I thought the whole ball spun around on the inside, but it looks like it's just the front. But I could be wrong. I'll have to look at it in more detail. I mean, still pretty fascinating that they made this for a child and somebody designed that where those eyes spin around like that. He's like really sturdy too. I mean, his legs here are plushy and his arms, but this whole middle section is just a block, and so is his neck, which is why I don't mind grabbing it. Of course, that'll mess the fur up, but I'll give him a brush. But overall, I was getting in the story. I thought that was neat. I can only imagine having all of these as a child and being able to sit and watch, you know, see Sesame Street on TV and then actually have them come to life like that. They all work really well together, and I give applause to Ideal for going, you know, above and beyond, because Teddy Ruxpin, you know, the whole idea was you could plug Grubby up to Teddy and those two communicated. So the fact they're like, you know what, hold my cassette tape. I'm gonna do 3. So the fact that they were able to make 3 all hook up like that and all communicate, it's almost like a little like Rockfire Explosion, Chuck E. Cheese situation here with all these little animatronics going on up here. So that's pretty cool. They definitely don't make toys like this anymore. I'm very happy that they all work. I don't have to actually do anything to them other than, you know, brush their hair a little bit. I don't have to go inside of them. I don't have to work on them. I don't have to change belts. They all still somehow, as the story says, magically they all still work. So definitely enjoy these. I'm kind of just going into my, I guess you could say, like talking animal plush era. I've had a Teddy Ruxpin for a long time, but he works horribly. And I just got Grubby fixed. Grubby didn't work, but because Teddy works horribly, Grubby isn't working right. And just those two exhaust me. So this is kind of the first time I've ventured outside of like the plushy types of talking toys. Just because I don't know how to sew, and trying to get into them, get their fur off, and like do all that stuff is a lot of work. But anyway, here we are, and I am definitely looking forward to preserving them and getting their stories out there for you all to listen to. And again, the tapes, just so crazy. There's so many, and I'm trying to kind of get a grasp for them online, like the secondary market. Like some people will post a Big Bird and it'll have like 5 or 6 tapes for like $150, and people sometimes will snatch it up real quick, and then sometimes it sits. So there's obviously tapes that are rare or harder to find, and there's like obviously some serious collectors out there that know what they're looking for, versus I'm like, oh, I don't have that one. I actually have only like 6 tapes. So I was very fortunate that out of the random tapes, because there was no rhyme or reason on which tapes I got, I just was like, oh, there's a few tapes, I need some. One of the ones I got actually worked with them, because it does seem like most of the tapes work just for Big Bird, and there is only a handful of tapes that work for all 3. So, but it is interesting that on the list, I think what it's talking about is that the ones listed on the back of the box are ones that all 3 of them communicate in, versus Oscar the Grouch is in, let's see, does it say? Well, yeah, in the picture, Oscar comes with Imagine That, and that's the one that I have we listened to yesterday. So I think individually, like Cookie Monster has some that work, and then Oscar has some, but for all 3 collectively in one story, it's limited to that list that I showed earlier. So that probably makes those harder to find. There's a few that I see all the time, like there's a Mother Goose one I see all the time, so some of them are like super duper common. Again, I haven't really started investing in those yet. I mean, I don't know how much they're all worth. I don't want to, you know, put too much money into it. I definitely don't want to get copies, duplicates, and I'm already doing that because I already had Imagine That, and now there's another one in this box. So I already have 2. But that's okay. I'll hold on to them, and I have friends in the community. We can help each other out. But I think I'm the only one that has a big bird at this point. But anyway, I will quit rambling. Thank you so much for joining me for this unboxing part 2. And we will get these guys all set up somewhere and maybe do some videos for them soon. So thank you so much, and I'll talk to you in the next video.